¿Qué pasa, gente? Soy Borbeck y aquí estamos una vez más con Gabriel Knight 2, The Beast Within. En el episodio anterior nos colamos en una habitación privada del club de caza, que también es privado, y que, bueno, se supone que teníamos acceso a todo el club, pero aquí Bonsell creo que se llama, ¿no? Nos pilló ahí en la habitación esa donde estaba todo lleno de trofeos y fotografías un poco... podrían inculpar a alguien de caza ilegal. Y bueno, nos sacó de ahí, básicamente. Así que nada, vamos a hablar aquí con su GIF, a ver qué nos cuenta.
May I speak with you, Baron von Zell?
Yes? What is it?
Pues tenemos unas cuantas cosas de las que hablar.
So, what do you do for a living, Baron von Zell?
For a living? My family is in banking, Herr Knight. What do you do for a living?
Me? I'm a writer.
A writer? How aggressive of you.
Bueno, obviamente no ha dicho que valiente, sino que agresivo por tu parte.
I take it you're particularly fond of hunting. I noticed the photographs downstairs. You and the Baron sure do get around.
We are the best? You may find that out for yourself someday.
Oh, I'm anxious for us to hit the field. I have a feeling there's a lot I could learn from you.
You may find yourself more challenged than you can imagine.
True. I don't get in as much practice as I'd like, and hunting's like any other sport. The more you do it, the better you get.
Bullshit! Hunting is a matter of the spirit, of will.
So it is.
However, Evan could see that von Glover and I have had more practice than the others in the club. We used to hunt together quite a bit.
Used to. You don't hunt together anymore?
No, not often.
Una conversación muy natural. Vale, sigamos a ver si le sacamos algo más. Creo que hemos sacado algún puntillo de ahí.
Are you and Von Glauer too busy to hunt much these days, or have y'all fallen out?
I suppose I've simply outgrown him.
Really? In what way?
You wouldn't understand.
Oh.
No puedo con las caras que pone. Vale, vamos a preguntar por los miembros del club.
How about telling me about the other club members?
I have a better idea. Why don't you tell me about yourself?
Like what?
For example, why are you in Munich?
Oh, I'm just vacationing and thought I'd stop by on my way through.
Really? And where are you staying in Munich?
Outside of town a ways.
Which suburb?
I'm on a farm, actually. And you know, I don't remember the name of the area. Probably couldn't pronounce it anyway.
Yes. Quite curious for someone with a supposedly high Germanic background.
Yep. I guess going out and making your mark on the rest of the world will do that to a family line. The club seems to be an exciting place. Do y'all travel much as a group?
No.
Really? You don't hunt abroad?
We are all very busy men.
No, isn't that odd?
Ese último plano de la cara de Gabriel. Pues, bueno, es un juego increíble.
So, how do you like the club?
Herr Knight, if you wish to learn about the club, you should keep your mouth shut and observe.
Vale, no preguntemos más del club.
Have you ever heard of the Black Wolf?
No.
Bueno, pues no. O sea, si no hubiera sido por la música, imagínate esa escena sin música. ¿Has oído alguna vez hablar del lobo negro? No. Y ya está, vale.
You mentioned that y'all don't go on hunting trips abroad?
We do not.
But those trophies in the basement, y'all really have white tigers in Germany or lions?
The majority of what the club hunts are far more common species, Herr Knight. The trophies in the basement are exceptions, and they were obtained quite legally.
Whoa, you misunderstand me, Baron von
I think not. In any case, the basement is not public territory, and its contents are, therefore, none of your concern.
Of course, I do apologize.
As a guest of this club, the why you are a guest of this club is a mystery to me. But as a guest, perhaps you should limit your prowling and sniffing to areas which you are offered openly by those who belong here.
You're so right.
Bueno, pues ya está. hemos acabado aquí por ahora, creo. Y aparentemente hemos conseguido puntos haciendo que el señor este se vaya.
I'd give it a shot, but I don't speak the language.
Vale, bueno, vamos a tomar el metro. Y creo que tenemos más sitios a los que ir. Vale, podemos venir aquí. De hecho, si miramos pistas, vamos a tener que volver a Marienplatz. Tenemos que ir al Nanhofen, que es donde está el comisario Lever, bueno, el señor este. Vamos a venir a Perlach. Bueno, el sitio este.
Entschuldigung, Baron. Gabriel Knight ist hier, c'est Suzanne.
Lassen Sie bitte ihn herein. Gabriel, what a pleasure to see you so soon. Bringen Sie uns bitte ein zweites Glas Wein.
Hope I'm not taking advantage of your kind invitation.
Well, my invitations are meant to be kept. Come, warm yourself. I hope you like wine. I got hooked on the grape when I lived in France.
It's fine, Baron.
Call me Friedrich.
All right.
Good. I like to have things settled. You were going to tell me how you found the club and about your hunting in America.
Oh, there must be more interesting subjects.
No doubt. You are a man who runs deep, I suspect.
On my off days.
I find nothing more stimulating than a new companion. A fresh mind with treasures to reap. New thoughts like rare birds uncovered and examined, one by one. It is only when people know each other well that they run out of things to say.
May we never be so cursed.
sido una traducción bastante liberal de lo que se han dicho. Pero bueno, supongo que la esencia estaba ahí. Le ha dicho que es más profundo de lo que parece. Nos ha dicho Von Glover. Y bueno, que nunca tengamos la maldición de que no tengamos nada de lo que hablar, ¿no? Que nunca nos quedemos sin cosas que decir, pero es lo mismo, vaya. O sea, solo que... Supongo que no suena tan bien en español. Pero vamos a hablar con él. ¿De dónde eres?
Are you from Munich originally?
No, I was raised abroad. But both of my parents had deep Bavarian roots.
Really? Where abroad?
All over. France, England, South America, North America. I love to travel.
Me hace gracia porque... O sea, esto está pasando pues eso, en los 90, ¿no? Pero mirad cómo viste el varón. O sea, en los 90 ya... A ver, podrías vestir así, supongo, pero... ¿En tu casa? O sea, no sé. O sea, es un poco... Bueno, vamos a continuar preguntándole.
So tell me about your family.
The Von Glovers? We are not nearly as old a line as the Ritters, I'm afraid.
Do you have a wife? Children?
Good God, no.
You sound like someone else I know.
I've been picking up on certain similarities between us. Do you have relatives? How fares the Ritter family tree?
I'm the last.
I too. I suppose all trees eventually stop bearing fruit.
How'd you end up here?
My circumstances were probably not much different than your own. I wanted to return to the land of my ancestors, and so I did. Which reminds me, you were going to tell me how the Ritter family ended up in America.
My grandfather. He left the family and went to New Orleans.
But you chose to return to the family. Why?
If you want to know the truth, I didn't have a hell of a lot of choice.
Yes. I understand.
Bueno,
Tell me about the club.
I'd prefer it if you formed your own opinions. To be perfectly frank, I could use a fresh perspective. That's one reason why I invited you to join us.
How about telling me about the other club members?
Ah, my select few. You find them valuable friends once you get to know them.
Did most of them come to the club through you?
For the most part. Though occasionally, fate throws one into my lap.
hay un poco de tensión aquí, ¿verdad? No soy solo yo.
All of the men at the club are from wealthy German families, I gather.
Yes, but it's not quite that simple. I am a believer in self-determination. Each man at the club must also be personally accomplished and gifted.
Really?
Absolutely. For example, von Eigner owns one of Germany's biggest meat butchering plants, and he runs an elite private brewery. It's true he inherited the business, but he's expanded it a great deal.
A butchery. Huh. And the others?
Price is recognized as one of the best trial lawyers in Germany. He seems pleasant enough in person, but you would be surprised how vicious he can be in the courtroom.
And Henneman?
Is with the government. He has a prominent position and is an acknowledged contender for higher office.
Really? How high?
There have been newspaper reports that predicted the highest.
That would be convenient for his friends, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm. Such men are an asset to everyone who knows them.
And Baron von Zell.
Von Zell's family owned the majority of stock of one of Munich's oldest banks.
In his own personal accomplishments?
Gar is a quite promising young man. He was always top of his class, the best at anything he did.
I keep picking up a past tense here.
You haven't seen him at his best. He's going through a rough spot lately, I'm afraid.
Bueno, ya hemos notado que está un poco... Bueno, ya hemos, cuando hemos hablado con él, pues ya hemos visto que está un poco mal. Está un poco mal. Vas a preguntarle por el sótano del club.
There's something about the club I don't quite understand.
Yes?
I get the feeling you're not your average, ordinary hunting club.
No?
Well, that room in the basement, for instance.
I gather you've been exploring.
Well, the door was open.
It doesn't matter. You are right. Yes. The Königlich Bayerische Hofjagdloge is more than just a hunting club. We share certain philosophical beliefs as well.
Bueno, vamos a preguntarle por esos aspectos filosóficos.
I'm curious about these philosophical beliefs of yours. Can I talk you into enlighten me?
Are you really interested?
Yes.
I'm glad. You seem to be the sort of man who would appreciate our way of thinking. The men at the club and I, it is our desire to reconnect with our true physical nature.
Go on.
Think of it this way. What makes man different from any other species on this planet? Civilization, of course. Oh, it's not a bad thing, human society. But it has come at a terrible price. Through civilization, man has lost his physical self, his sensory power, his instinct, if you will. He became fat and lazy, a dulled, rusted blade.
And those are my good days.
Picture a beast in the woods. It is alert. It smells. It sees. It feels everything around it. It can tell where some other animal has passed days before, where food is to be found. It can sense danger. You put civilized man in the woods, and he's comparably deaf, dumb, and blind.
I hear you, but isn't some of that related to physical makeup? Our senses of smell and hearing aren't as sharp as those of wolves, for example.
That's just it. Surely man once had those abilities. As generations of city dwellers failed to use their most acute senses, genetically they started to fall away, the way limbs wither when not exercised. I believe we can hold this degeneration. And not only hold it, but recover that which was lost.
It's an interesting concept. Do you have any proof that such powers are recoverable?
Proof? I felt things myself. Keener hearing, sharper smells, but documentable proof? That is harder. To what extent we can recover these primal abilities, and what some of those abilities might prove to be, that is what we still struggle to find out.
You're very convincing, Friedrich. There's no doubt that the potential is fascinating.
Me pregunto si este disco tiene igual más vídeo o algo así, y está un poco más comprimido, porque cuando habla el Von Glover o Friedrich, parece que tiene aún menos colores, ¿vale? Si os fijáis en el labio. Y bueno, si queréis un pasatiempo, podéis volver a ver esta misma escena que acabamos de ver y podéis contar las veces que pestañea aquí el varón. Porque es que es difícil pestañear tampoco. Bueno, podemos seguir preguntándole por la filosofía del club, que nos ha dado puntitos. Y bueno, por más cosas. Pero poco a poco.
How does one go about trying to get back in touch with one's physical self? Does it have something to do with hunting?
You are right. That's part of it, yes. Man is, or was, a predator. But unfortunately, he was too smart for his own good. He figured out how to raise his prey in pens. Hunting helps us get back in touch with our predator soul.
Do you get back in touch with your predator soul?
Some of us have been more successful at tapping into that than others.
No sé. Tengo la sensación de que aquí alguien es un hombre lobo. Pero yo qué sé. Bueno, al final no acabo de decir. O sea, no solo tiene como menos colores y eso, sino que, por ejemplo, en la escena en la que entrábamos aquí a hablar con él, era como el frame rate era un poco más bajo que en el resto del juego y cosas así. Ahora en la conversación parece que va normal, que tampoco va muy rápido. Obviamente no va de 24 FPS este juego. El vídeo, quiero decir, las secuencias de vídeo no van a 24 fotogramas. Pero ha habido ratos en los que yo creo que iba a 5 o 7 o algo así cuando hemos entrado. A ver, vamos a seguir preguntándole por la filosofía del club.
So how has this philosophy affected the men in the club?
The men at the club are all excellent specimens who have used the philosophy to increase their success and power.
So your woods becomes corporate headquarters, your prey the competition.
Some of the technique can be applied, yes. When the senses are primed, one can pick up all sort of feedback that is normally lost in the haze.
Speaking hypothetically, do you think it would be possible to take this philosophy too far?
Funny that should occur to you so quickly. It hadn't occurred to me for the longest time. I hope not.
Bueno, no ha dicho a esas alturas, sino tan rápido. Vale. Es como, eso es lo primero que te llama la atención. Mira, nunca lo había pensado.
Have you ever heard of the Black Wolf?
I'm so sorry.
It's all right.
Gunther! Würden Sie das bitte reinigen?
You barely got me.
Are you all right?
Yeah.
Danke. I feel so clumsy. Danke, Gunther. What was it you asked again?
I asked if you'd ever heard of the Black Wolf.
Of course, you did. I suppose you just startled me. These killings in the papers, they've really got me derailed.
Any particular reason?
People getting slaughtered. Children. In broad daylight. Nature can seem cruel, but it is orderly.
It does not waste or torture, not like this. And with the club espousing what we do, our philosophy does not support this kind of thing.
I'm sure that's true.
I apologize. It's just, I'm concerned that we are not put in the best of light under these circumstances. To promote hunting when these atrocities in the papers. You must understand, the nature I promote is not a murderer. When a healthy beast kills, it takes only what it needs to survive, and it does so respectfully. It is only the man who is capable of such a pointless slaughter. I'll be glad when this has passed. I'm sure the other men feel the same way.
Vale. De hecho, no soy el único, sino los otros hombres, refiriéndose a los del club. Ese cambio en la traducción puede tener algún... claro, o sea, no soy el único, podría ser en toda Alemania, ¿vale? De todas formas, fijaos que no nos ha respondido sobre el lobo negro en absoluto. Creo que vamos a mirar esta máscara.
That's a great mask. Mind if I take a look?
Be my guest.
Interesting. Is it African?
No, Indian. I picked it up in Brazil.
Huh.
No sé si hay algo más que podamos sacar de aquí.
Von Glauer says it's Indian.
El caso es que pone hindú, ¿vale? Pero no todos los indios de India son hindúes, ¿vale? Debería haber dicho indio, que no sé por qué lo han traducido por hindú. Porque no es lo mismo. Pero bueno. No tenemos nada más que hacer aquí. No hay nada más de lo que hablar, me temo.
I'm not sure what else to say.
Pues creo que ya está.
Well, I hate to say it, but I should go.
It's been a rare pleasure.
Yeah. I've been kind of isolated over here myself.
I'll see you at the club tonight, won't I?
Oh, right.
And perhaps you'd like to come over for a drink after that? To give us a chance to talk some more about the others.
I'd like that. Thanks.
Vale, si no me equivoco, aquí ya no te... Ah, sí, seguimos teniendo que hacer cosas. No, creo que no. Ah, pues sí. Bueno, pues en cualquier caso vamos a venir... Te seguro que no tenemos que venir, pero bueno, vamos a hablar con Lieben, que debería estar aquí. Lieber, eso es.
Kommen Sie herein.
Kommissar Lieber, so generous of you to see me.
Sit down, Mr. Knight. Now, you will tell me what you think you know about this case, yes?
How do you say quid pro quo in German?
There is no translation.
Thanks so much for your time.
Sit down. What are you proposing exactly?
You want information? I want information. It's kind kind of convenient that way.
I can't give you police information.
Why not? I'm not asking for anything confidential. Hell, I can't even read the damn newspapers around here. Press release stuff, that's all I want.
All right. But then it's your turn. Agreed?
I hear you.
Es una gran escena. Ha habido una traducción también un poco rara, pero no me acuerdo ahora cuál era. Vale, pues nada, vamos a hablar con Lieber.
How long have you been a commissar?
10 years.
All of them here in Munich?
Yes.
And a criminal commissar is like, what, a police detective in America?
Americans don't have so many ranks, I think. A German criminal commissar is, say, more like an English chief inspector.
Ah, P.D. James.
What?
Nothing. Tell me about the other victims.
What do you want to know?
No, obviamente está grabado 2 días distintos o algo así, porque las voces suenan distintas.
How many victims have there been?
5, including the one downtown.
Could there be bodies out there that you haven't found yet?
No. The killings have been done in broad daylight. Body parts left like a trail of boat criminal. Breadcrumbs?
Jack the Ripper Wolf. When were the other victims killed?
The first was 32 days ago.
2 days after the zoo wolves escaped. And the others?
The 2 teenage boys were killed 20 days ago. The Huber girl 6 days ago.
They're speeding up.
Maybe.
¿Tienen algo en común los lugares escogidos para los asesinatos? Es una buena pregunta.
What about the locations of the killings? Any pattern there?
You can see for yourself if you like. I have a marked map on the wall. Until last night, the killer always struck 30 to 40 minutes outside the city. The first was killed north of München near Esching. The 2 males were killed in Feldkirchen, that's east. Tony Huber was killed on her parents' farm just west of Lacham.
Luego miramos el mapa, que no se me olvide. ¿Se preguntarle sobre el asesino? ¿Qué información dan los forenses sobre el asesino?
What does forensics say about the killer?
That information is not for the press.
But the bite marks, saliva, you've seen the bodies, I haven't.
All I can say is, it is an animal.
Mind if I take a guess? Your boys in the lab say the bite marks are canine and are closer to wolf than to dog. But beyond that, they can't pin it down. Nothing like it on the records. Probably a weird hybrid. Yeah. That's what I thought.
Claro, lo que nos han dicho a nosotros. Se ha planteado la hipótesis de que se trate de un hombre lobo. Esto me está dando esta cosilla preguntarlo.
Have you given any thought at all about the possibility of
What?
a werewolf? Never mind.
Gracias. Gracias por acabar con eso. con esa línea de preguntas. Obviamente, si es un hombre lobo, pues no lo van a saber. El asesino no es uno de los lobos del zoológico, ¿verdad?
The killer isn't one of the zoo wolves, is it?
That is information the press does not have, Mr. Knight. I expect it to stay that way.
I understand.
As you pointed out so loudly at the crime scene, evidence on the killer does not match what we know of the zoo wolves.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts about that?
Either there is a mistake with the zoo records.
I think the zoo would know if they had a reddish-brown hybrid in the wolf kennel.
I didn't say it was likely. Another possibility is, of course, that another animal is responsible.
Wild?
Possibly. Maybe. A pet.
A pet? As in maybe the reason you haven't been able to track the thing is that it's going into someone's home.
It's possible.
Habréis notado algo también ahí raro en el audio. Y es que cuando cambiaba de plano, se oía el eco de que debían de estar cambiando de micrófono o algo y se mezclaban los micrófonos. Este juego está lleno de detalles. De detalles de... No invirtieron mucho dinero, ¿vale? A la hora de... O sea, por un lado estoy seguro de que el juego fue relativamente caro para la época. Pero por otro lado, los medios con los que acabaron contando son limitados. ¿Cree usted que el responsable es un único animal?
You keep saying an animal. You found evidence of only one animal? One bite pattern, one saliva type?
Yes.
Yet 2 wolves escaped from the zoo.
As you say, the zoo wolves do not figure into this at all.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. No, I definitely would not say that.
¿Y lo vas a dejar ahí? Cagüen. Vale, vamos a hablar del asesinato que hemos encontrado al principio del capítulo. Hábleme de la última víctima.
Tell me about the latest victim.
Male, 52, Grossberg was the name. He was a furrier. Ironic, isn't it?
A furrier. What an amazing coincidence.
¿Tienes alguna teoría sobre por qué el asesino ha atacado dentro de la ciudad esta vez?
Have any theories about why the killer struck downtown this time?
No. Do you?
I read somewhere that wolves are clean animals. They don't kill close to their lair unless they're forced to.
But lair? What are you talking about?
Not sure, actually. Random thought.
Obviamente, vale. A estas alturas, Gabriel ya asume que alguien del club de caza es el hombre lobo que está buscando. Por eso está ahí metido, obviamente. Si no, no estaría dando vueltas por eso. Pero claro, no ha visto a un hombre lobo ahí. Bueno, igual lo ha visto, pero no ha visto un lobo. No sabe quién de todos es, o si son todos, o si uno es el alfa y los otros son sus cachorros, o si hay varios alfa, o qué pasa ahí. Obviamente sería raro, ¿no? Que hubiera más de un alfa en un grupo de estos, porque entonces no serían alfa, supongo. Pero bueno, claro, esto es para nosotros, ¿no? Probablemente quien fuera se convirtió en lobo ahí, o lo que sea, y esta otra persona pues lo vio, y por eso lo tuvo que matar ahí. Porque si no, pues se avisaría o lo que fuera y pues se vio obligado, ¿no? El lobo asesino. Pero en el resto de casos, pues simplemente se fueron por ahí, se convirtieron en el lobo cuando vino al caso y mataron a quien fuera a 40 minutos de Múnich, donde pues no hay problemas. Vale, podemos preguntar por el lobo negro, aunque creo que no nos va a decir nada.
Have you ever heard of anyone or anything called the Black Wolf?
The hair samples we have are all reddish brown.
Yeah, I know. I was just wondering if you'd heard of a Black Wolf in general.
Hold on. Here is this.
What?
Missing persons case. A runaway teenaged girl. It happened in 1989 in a town called Kirschel in the Nationalpark Bayerischer Wald, Bavarian National Forest.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I just thought I remembered something. It was a sad case, you know. She was very pretty. Ah, yes. Here it is.
What?
There was a supposed witness. An old lady who lived on the edge of town near the woods. She says she saw the girl go into the woods the night she disappeared. Says the wolf got her.
The wolf?
The old lady had been complaining for some time about a huge black wolf in the woods. But no one believed her. She was verrückt. Crazy.
No one else ever saw the thing?
Hadn't been any wolves in those woods for 50 years.
So there was probably nothing to it.
That's what I thought at the time. Of course, that was years before this case. Never heard of wolf attacks back then.
En este caso serían, bueno, suponiendo que el juego sucede. La verdad es que no sé. Deberíamos mirar el periódico para saber qué fecha es. Podéis mirarlo en episodios anteriores. Pero sí, en principio, o sea, el 89, ahora pues claro, dices, joder, pues hace 40 y pico años, ¿no? Pero obviamente en el tiempo del juego, pues no sé en qué año estamos en el juego, pero el juego salió en el 96 y no sé si estaremos jugando en el 96 o en plan en el 95, 94, 93. Vamos, que menos de una década de estos asesinatos.
Do you get a lot of missing persons cases in Germany?
Oh, sure. Mostly teenagers, runaways. It gets worse all the time. Families are not like they used to be, yes?
Suppose not. That's all I wanted to know.
Good. We discuss you now, yes?
I guess.
You want to tell me, or do I have to ask?
I'm investigating the murder of Tony Yuba for her parents.
Why?
I'm an investigator. That's what I do.
You're an American PI?
You could say that.
And how did the Hubers end up hiring you?
Mutual friends?
I see. And this evidence you have?
A paw print and some hair samples from the Yuba farm. I spoke with some folks at the zoo as well.
All right, Mr. Knight. I don't know how the police deal with you in America, but in this country, we don't like civilian interference.
I understand.
If you hear something, you come to me. If you see something, you come to me. And under no circumstances are you to speak with the press. You do. And I'll have your passport.
You wouldn't like it. It was a bad hair day.
I am quite serious.
I swear, not a word.
All right. I can't stop you from investigating. But stay out of our way.
Quiet as a shadow. That's me.
Bueno, y podemos mirar el mapa. Por cierto, esta música Si recordáis, es la misma música que la estación de policía en el Gabriel Knight 1, ¿vale? Por eso suena tan distinta al resto del juego. Vale, ¿qué podemos ver entonces?
This map, it marks the locations of all the wolf killings, right?
Yes. What?
The one last night, the one in the middle, doesn't really fit, does it?
It has to fit. It happened.
I suppose.
Creo que es posible que no tenga nada que ver. Tenemos esto de aquí, este número de teléfono y esto, y creo que podemos usar el bloc de notas para anotarlo, sin que nos vea. Muy poco sospechoso. No puedo con este juego. Vale, este es el número de teléfono de Grossberg, que es el señor que ha muerto, ¿no? Obviamente eso no es un número de teléfono alemán, pero bueno. Vale, y bueno, tenemos algunas fotos de la gente que ha muerto y ya está, eso es todo.
I still say that one in the middle is different.
Sí, pero no explicas por qué. Y obviamente el motivo por el que es diferente también lo ha dicho el policía, que es que todos los demás están lejos del centro de la ciudad. Pero bueno. No sé, Gabriel, tú sabrás. Vale, bueno, nos vamos.
I'm gonna take off.
Stay out of trouble.
Of course.
En el fondo no es mal tipo, ¿vale? Solo que, bueno, pues se supone que es que, no sé. Nada de lo que ha dicho es raro, ¿vale? Realmente. Y como veis, ya nos hemos quitado casi todo para hacer. Seguían saliendo algunos antes y ya no. O sea, una vez hemos hablado aquí y ya esto nos ilumina. Así que vamos a venir aquí a llamar a ese número de teléfono. Por si recordáis, tenemos un telefonillo aquí, en la casa de campo. Vamos a llamar al Grossberg. No salía el nombre.
Who should I call?
Todo que quieras. A ver, ¿qué? Ah, vale. El teléfono lo tenemos aparte.
Hello?
Hello, my name is Knight. I'm an American associate of Herr Grossberg's.
Yes? I was just calling the people in Herr Grossberg's address book to notify them. Have you heard that Herr Grossberg has...
Yes, I know about his death.
Yes, I'm sorry. Would you mind giving me your name again so I can check you off the list?
Knight.
Ella Hoffman... I'm not finding you.
Could you check under Vaughn? It's Vaughn Knight.
Oh, so... Yes, Von. Von Eigner, von Frank, von Stein. You're not under Von either.
Excuse me, did you say Von Agner?
Yes?
Do you know Von Agner?
I don't know him. I don't know most of Grossberg's business contacts.
Grossberg knew him.
If this is about money, you're out of luck. All the accounts are locked until someone comes in and takes over. Besides, there's nothing in them anyway.
Really? Well, could you just look up an account balance for me?
I can't. The address book is all I have. The police have taken Herr Großberg's ledgers.
Oh, well, thank you.
Goodbye.
Bueno, recordáis, Von Eichner es uno de los miembros del club. Vale, voy a mirar el periódico por curiosidad. Por el tema de la fecha. No porque tengamos nada nuevo que sacar. 1994, ¿vale? Así que el asesinato ese, la chica a la que se la llevó el lobo, fue hace 5 años. Y creo que con esto podemos escribir ya una carta para Grace. Vamos a ver. Efectivamente.
I'd better make sure Gracie keeps busy. Elsewhere.
Vale. Pues no nos queda mucho por hacer. Vamos a volver a la Marienplatz y tenemos un par de cosillas. Tenemos que enviar la carta y tenemos que volver al club. Y creo, igual tenemos que ir a hablar con Ubergrau también. Vamos a ver. Ah, bueno, y hay otra cosa. Hay otra cosa, me acabo de acordar. Pero sí, todo lo que nos queda por hacer está aquí. Así que vamos a apurar un poco y acabamos el episodio, supongo. Que bueno, igual tenemos un poco de hablar. Bueno, este juego hablas mucho, la verdad.
Ah, Gabriel. Come in.
Hey, Harry.
Efectivamente, podemos preguntarle.
You mentioned the possibility of my using your secretary for research.
Anytime.
Great. I wouldn't ask, but I need a newspaper search done, and my German sucks.
No problem. What exactly are you looking for?
Missing persons. Actually, missing persons cases that occurred in or near forested areas.
How far back do you want to go?
10 years?
Okay, I can spare her later in the day. We should have it ready for you by tomorrow.
Great. Thanks.
Vale, pues eso es todo lo que necesitábamos.
Well, I'm off. See you, Harry.
Goodbye.
Vale. Pues vamos al club de caza y a ver qué tal. Creo que debería haber un puñado de gente allí ahora. De hecho, lo que voy a hacer va a ser grabar, porque no me fío de este juego en general. O sea, por el momento no ha habido problemas, pero yo qué sé. Todo sea que pete algo. Por no grabar, ya sabéis. Si no grabas pasa, si grabas mucho nunca te pasa nada. Bueno, mira, ya que estamos aquí, vamos a enviar también el correo. Una puerta que se abre.
That's taken care of.
Pero le ha empujado primero para adentro y luego para afuera. Bueno, entramos en el club de caza y a ver quién está.
I think I've pumped that particular well dry.
Good night.
And you, Herr Price? You look a little wet.
Oh, I was visiting a friend nearby, and I thought that I should take a shower before the others arrived. I was a bit automatic.
Well, how thoughtful.
Vale, vamos a hablar con él.
Herr Price?
Yes.
Vale, tenemos unas cuantas cosas que preguntarle. Pues nada.
Baron von Glau mentioned that you're a lawyer.
Yes. And fortunately for me these days, I have enough money to where I only have to take those cases which interest me. I enjoy my leisure time.
And what do you do with your leisure time?
I entertain.
Bueno, vamos a indagar más.
Probably a dumb question, but what sort of entertaining do you do?
Do you like women, Herr Knight?
I've been known to.
I adore them. You might call it an obsession. The stalk, the dance, the bait, the hook.
And what do you do once you've hooked him?
Oh, you know. You're quite the pleasurist yourself. Or have I misled you?
You're probably just getting a whiff of the past, Herr Price. What do you think of the club philosophy?
It works, doesn't it?
Does it?
We're all animals, but I deny it.
So you don't believe in suppressing anything?
Why would I want to suppress my urges? If your body wants something, it must be natural.
Well, what if you get the natural urge to rip someone's throat out?
Well, fortunately, my instincts run to pleasure. Of the equally sticky but less fatal kind.
Well, what about those whose instincts are fatal? Shouldn't they suppress?
I believe that nature handles that scenario when it occurs, Herr Knight.
And how does it do that exactly?
In the wild, when a member of society does not conform, he is hunted down and executed. End of mutant instinct. And its genetic bloodline.
Tell me about the other club members.
Oh, they're all right. Don't worry about Von Zell. He's a bastard to everyone these days.
PMS?
I don't know what his problem is. Oh, he's always been an arrogant bastard, competitive under Hans, ambitious. But still, aren't we all? He was decent enough at one time. In fact, he was Von Glover's favorite. And he was an asset as a friend. But things change.
Miembros do club.
And what about the other club members?
Like who?
Henneman, for example. I've heard he's in line for a position extremely high up in the government.
Henneman, he is a drunk. His days as a political superstar are over. My friends at the courthouse tell me that he has been marked for early retirement. One less politician to worry about, huh?
When did Von Zell begin to change?
Oh, he's been getting worse for a long time. I remember a hunting trip about a year ago. That was the last time I remember that we were all together and having a good time. He must have started getting difficult after that.
Seems like you've pretty much written Von Zell off yourself. Any particular reason?
Look, it's one thing when he insults the rest of us. But when he insults the Baron, no. I heard him arguing once. When Glover told Von Zell he had acted stupidly about something or the other, Von Zell was furious.
What'd he say?
He told the Baron that he was weak. Bastard. I don't know why the Baron didn't get away with it. I mean, I would have said something at the time, but, well, it was a private conversation.
Uh-huh. When was this?
I don't know. 5, 6 weeks ago?
Bueno, pues eso no es el vídeo, ¿vale? El juego es así. Ahí tenían los micrófonos muy calientes y no sé, pues no usaron ni un DS ni nada, así que pues todas las S suenan así. Espero que no haya otros trozos aquí grabados con esos micrófonos ese día o lo que fuera.
How was Von Zell an asset as a friend?
He is a banker.
Are you saying he loaned you money?
He's always willing to help out his good friends.
Why would anyone in this club need money? I thought y'all were models of success.
Yes, well, fortunately, I took less advantage of Von Zell's hospitality than some.
Have you ever heard of the Black Wolf?
Yes.
Al fin.
Really, where?
Oh, I don't know. Just sounds familiar.
Will you tell me if you remember?
Of course. The reinforcements have arrived. Now you'll have someone new to probe, Herr Knight.
My brilliant man, good cheer to you both. Where's the beer?
Guten Abend, mein Herr. Good evening.
Guten Abend.
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 Meine kleine Familie. How are you all this evening? Hello. Gabriel, I'm glad you could join us.
I need to speak with the Baron. Enjoy your evening, Herr Knight.
Thanks. I will.
Baron, may I speak to you for a minute?
What is it, Bryce?
Es curioso que hablen en inglés entre ellos. Para algo privado. Pero bueno. Vamos a dejarlo aquí. Tenemos que hablar con esta gente. Y es lo último que tenemos que hacer en este episodio. O sea, en este capítulo del juego. Pero va a llevarnos un rato. Y ya el episodio se nos ha ido de las manos. Ya se me fue ayer el Birthright. Y no puede ser esto. Así que vamos a dejarlo aquí. Muchísimas gracias por acompañarme hasta el final. Espero que lo hayáis pasado bien. Y nada, nos vemos la semana que viene con más Gabriel Knight 2. Y más escenas grabadas con micrófonos de escritorio de 2 euros. Y nada, hasta entonces, como siempre. Adiós.